السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مرحبا بكم أيها الطلاب الكرام. اليوم سنأخذ الدرس العاشر الجزء الخامس. Today we're going to take lesson 10 part 5. We left off on the bottom of page 55 and today we'll take page 56. But before then we have some very, very important things that we need to review, and we're going to try to review them quickly. سنأخذ مراجعة سريعة. A quick review. ضمائر منفصلة. Detached pronouns. هو, هي, أنت, أنتِ, أنا. He, she, you, female, I. These only come, or they're going to be considered مرفوع ضمائر. They're not attached to anything, but when they come, they're in a مرفوع state, even if they don't show it. Now, these ones here, ضمائر متصلة, attached pronouns. When you want to say his, hers, yours, male, yours, female, or my, you're going to attach who. That's if it's attached to the letter before it. Or this if it can't attach to the letter before it. Ha, ka, ki, and e. And with this ya, you're going to have the letter before it have a kasra. Now, these here, يسند إلى الأسماء والحروف والأفعال. Actually, we should say تسند, because there's more than one in there. غير عاقل. تسند. It means they are attached, right, to nouns, they're attached to prepositions, and they're attached to verbs. But when they're attached to any one of these, they're going to be mansoob and majroor, not marfu'. Not marfu', which is in the nominative state. They only come when they're attached either in the accusative or the genitive, mansoob or majroor. Now, we are still yet to take in depth adding the ta, the ضمائر متصلة. There's another form of attached pronoun, right, that get attached to only verbs. And those ones come in the marfu' state. All right, we're still yet to take them. We took it briefly in the book where it just said ذهبت and ذهبت, which meant I went, ذهبت. And if you say ذهبت, it's you went. So we're still yet to take that in depth, but because we're already taking, these 5, and those 5 are being reviewed, it's already so much right now, so we'll delay them to another lesson. Turn to page 56. At the top, it says, عندك سيارة يا أخي. We took li, adding the lam to one of the ضمائر متصلة on this side, to one of the ضمائر متصلة, and we said that it means I have. If you say li, ألك, do you have? And we said this one is more broad, and at the same time it's more specific, because when you say ألك, means do you have, but you can only say ألك أخ, and you don't say عندك أخ. Because عند also means has or have, depending on what ضمير it's attached to. So, لك or عندك, they both mean have. So I can say لك كتاب, do you have a book? And I can say عندك كتاب, it means do you have a book? But when you want to say do you have a brother, the proper one to use, or I should say the more common one to use, is to say لك أخ, you have a brother, because when you use that lam, it's used for relation. When you use that عند, it means like it's more of, do you have one on you? Okay, do you have one on you? Because عند, we said, is describing a place. It's an adjective or a ظرف. Now, he says عندك. The alif is for do, alif al-istifham, and inda is do you have, and the kaf, indaka, do you have. Sayyaratun, ya akhi, do you have a car? Ya akhi, you see the ya added to the word akhun? It made it my brother. He said, la ma indi sayyara. عندي دراجة. حمزة عنده سيارة. لا ما عندي سيارة. That says I do not have. عندي is I have, and then when you put ma there, it means I do not. ما عندي سيارة. I don't have a car. عندي دراجة. I have a bicycle. حمزة عنده سيارة. Hamza has a car. You might be thinking to yourself, what are you talking about? Ma means not. Well, ma, from what I can recall, can be used over 10 different ways. Ma, you learned, like for example, we said, masmuka. What is your name? Ma ismuka. Remember? Yeah. And here, you're saying it's not used for istifham. It's not used for a question. Rather, you're saying it's used to negate. That's right. There's different ma. There's ma al-mawsula. There is ma al-istifhamiyya. Ma al-nafiya. There is ma al-hijaziyya. There is, what else do we got? Ma al-ibhamiyya. I believe there's more than 10. I can't remember all of them, but I know that there's about 10 or more. So, for now, ma, we've taken means what, and here, it's used as negation for, to say, not. So we break down our sentence. We say, عندي, right? سيارة. عندي سيارة. I have a car. If you put ma in front of that, it will say ma عندي. I have a car. I do not have. I do not have when you say ma عندي. Alright? ما عندي سيارة. I do not have a car. Let's try to mix up using عند plus one of these pronouns. Okay? So, I'm going to erase this part. And we're going to play a little fill in the blank game. And what we're going to do with that is so that we don't just take the rules, we have to memorize them by usage and example. Alright. So, عند is what we want, and we want to attach عند to one of these. Okay? How do you ask a question? You're going to add hamzatul istifham in front of it. And how do you negate it? You're going to add ma. Alright? So, in our sentence, we should try to have these three things here. And this is before we get to the exercise that's going to come up, and then that's when we can go a little bit based on what the book. So, I want you to say, I have this book. I have. So, here's the one for I. We need to add ya. عندي. How do you say this? هذا الكتاب. Okay. How do you say, do you have this book? Well, we want to say, do you? We're talking to somebody who's male, so we're going to need to use this one. All right, so I'm going to take عند, still here, right? عندك, but I am asking him a question. So I have to say, do you have? أعندك. And the same part here. أعندك هذا الكتاب. Don't mind that alif, it's too close. عندك هذا الكتاب. Do you have this book? Alright? Same thing, let's try it with huwa. Right? He has a big house. Or let's say, he does not. That'll be the last one before we move on. He does not have a big house. Okay? He does not have. So we need inda, right? And we're going to say he for huwa, so it's adding this one. Indahu baytun kabirun. He has a big house. So we want to say he does not. That's where ma comes in. ما عنده بيت كبير. Alright? And this is how you should be practicing your words. Using عند, أعند. Alright? And if you want to answer, ما عندي, ما عنده, ما عندك. And in this way. Alright. Let's look at the examples on page 56. It says here, مسمك. What's your name? How would you answer? Start out by changing ismuka to my name. Ismi Jibreel. Then say your name. Ismi Muhammed. Ismi Fatima. Ismi Khadija. Okay? Number 2. Min ayna ant. Min ayna ant. Min ayna ant. Where are you from? Alright? You can change, if you're not talking to him, you can be talking about somebody. You say, Min ayna huwa. Min ayna hiya. Min ayna anti. Alright? Number 3. Ma lughatuka. What's your language? Ma lughatuka. You would answer by saying, lughati, my language, al-Injiliziyya, al-Hindiyya, whatever it might be, al-Arabiyya. Number 4, Aina abuka. Aina abuhu. What does that mean? Aina abi. Aina abuki. You can change that depending on who you're talking to. Where's your dad? You say, هو في السوق. هو في المسجد. هو في البيت. أين أمك? Or أين أمك? Depending on who you're talking to. Alright? And then now, do you answer by saying, you say ummi, my mother. If they're talking to you, you say aina ummuka, you say ummi, say my mother. Right? Or you could skip it and not say ummi, and you would just get straight to hiya. You'd say, he says to you, aina ummuka, and you'd answer, hiya fi fil bayt. Hiya fil bayt. Hiya ma'a abi. She's with my father. Alright? So you can answer ummi and then the thing, or you can just get straight to her and say hiya, she is. Alright? Let's take one more. Alaka akhun. You see how he's using alaka here? Why didn't he say, we said alaka is used to say, do you have? And he said akhun. Why didn't he say a'indaka? Because indaka means like, do you have them with you? Right? Or are you at them, or wherever they're at? So the proper way for saying akh and ukh and ab and is saying laka. Alright? Do you have laka akhun? Say na'am, li akhun. And then he says laka ukhtun. Same one, let's take another one. Do you have a sister? And you would answer نعم لي أخ or نعم لي أخت. All right? And actually, let's get to 10. I know we said we're going to stop, but let's get to 10. It's going to be strange if we just stop on 7. عندك سيارة. Now, this is not a person you're related to. It's a car. Do you have a car? عندك سيارة. How would you answer? You'd answer by I have. You add this to عندي or عند. You say عندي سيارة. Yeah, I have a car. All right? I have a car. And that works, we said, for cars and non-intellectual things, right? Because it's more of like, you own one and you have one. Whereas brother, it's leka, is for like related. Next, he says, عندك دراجة? Do you have a دراجة? ما عندي دراجة. All right? And عندك and عنده, all of them can be changed out. And last one, عندك قلم? Do you have a قلم? عندك قلم? نعم عندي قلم. Or you say لا ما عندي قلم. نكتفي بهذا القدر. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. إلى اللقاء والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.